I'm looking for a new home out of Ukraine because my city is burned.
Over 400,000 refugees have fled Ukraine to the neighboring Hungary since the beginning of the Russian invasion, making this one of the largest refugee crises in Hungary's history. The mass influx of people has been steady at the 5 border crossing points between the two countries.
My parents are still there, and I hope they will survive. I also want to come back and be helpful there, useful there, but I have to think about it. I don't know what to do next. I just want to sleep and eat something, and after that maybe keep moving, keep going.
Like Anna, most of them are only transiting the country, but there are many refugees in Hungary's public transport centers lining up to get a ride for a better life.
In the fall of 2015, during the European refugee crisis, also known as the Syrian refugee crisis, this eastern railway station of Budapest, Hungary, where I'm standing right now, was flooded with migrants and refugees coming from mainly countries in the Middle East and Africa. Now, about 7 years later, the same situation has developed as refugees fleeing Ukraine arrived to the 2 main train stations of Budapest in the first 3 weeks after the outbreak of war.
As a response to the needs of the refugees, Hungary reacted by setting up a humanitarian transit point where the refugees can find shelter in a more civilized environment. Monika Hajdu has been working at the Hungarian Charity Service of the Order of Malta and says that in her 25 years of work experience, she has never witnessed a humanitarian crisis like this before.
Here we can provide accommodation, a place to lie down and rest for the night for about 150 to 200 people. We work in shifts with the NGOs and constantly replenish our food storage.
I really appreciate everything and all countries that support Ukraine because now we can get food and water and electricity, and I'm really thankful for everything.
At the border, the same charity organizations are also operating. The Hungarian Catholic Caritas stood by the refugees from the very first minutes. Jennifer Poidatz, Vice President for Humanitarian Response for Catholic Relief Services, came all the way from the United States to Hungary to help and oversee the work of the Catholic charities.
Over 1,000 families coming across today, and all those families pass through Caritas reception centers after being registered at the border. And really well organized, a place, that people can just rest, they can have food, they can receive information on other services that are available to them. I think people feel a sense of safety and welcome, and they do their best to help people who are really coming from a pretty horrific situation.
The question about when the conflict will de-escalate and whether the refugees who fled Ukraine will ever be able to go back to their homeland remains open. At this point, they're driven with hope for a peaceful future.
Tomorrow I want to visit Zagreb. My friend lives there, and maybe I will find a job near sea side, because Mariupol situated by the sea, and I used to swim on the sea beach. Maybe I will find a job over there. I don't know. I will try. I will do my best.
From Budapest, Hungary, Domi Pulai, EWTN News in Depth.